Republican Senate prospects are looking pretty good. In the Friday video, we discussed how Obama is deliberately postponing the implementation of Obamacare in the hopes that he can rescue some of those senators that voted to pass this atrocious legislation by delaying its implementation until after they're, in his view, hopefully reelected. Well, he's got a tough row to hoe here. The Republicans need 6 seats to take over control of the Senate. And there are currently 8 seats that are really in play, and 7 of the 8 are in states that Romney carried. 6 of the 8 are in states that Romney and McCain both carried. So there's certainly, the whole playing field is tilted toward the Republicans at this point. But again, we have to be sure we don't nominate nut candidates like we had in Missouri and Indiana and Delaware and Nevada and Colorado that killed us and took away seats we probably would have won in the last 2 cycles. So the 4 states that are just poised to drop into our laps are South Dakota, which is the ultimate Republican state, and the serious Democrat who might have run, the former Congresswoman, has dropped out. There's Arkansas, where Mark Pryor, the son of David Pryor, who is my client, David, not Mark, was one of the key votes that passed Obamacare. And his colleague Blanche Lincoln from Arkansas went down to a resounding defeat in 2010, and the entire state congressional delegation was defeated, and it returned 4 Republicans and no Democrats. So Mark Pryor's days are probably really numbered. Then you have West Virginia, where Jay Rockefeller, the Democrat, vacated the seat, and there's no viable Democrat running. Shelley Moore Caputo, the daughter also of a former client, Arch Moore, is one of the congresswomen, and she's almost certain to win the election. And in Alaska, Paul Beglish, the Democratic senator, is very likely to be defeated. Alaska is a solidly Republican state. He was only elected because Ted Stevens, the longtime Republican senator, was indicted and then convicted before Election Day. And the prosecutor subsequently admitted gross misconduct, and the judge threw out the conviction, but unfortunately that was after Stevens had died. So it's probable that Beglish can't survive an election on his own. So that would be 4 seats right there. Then there are 2 seats, which would be the margin of victory, that are really very close to good shots for us. One is Montana, where Max Baucus, who wrote the healthcare law, is retiring. And the leading Republican candidate is Mark Raycott, a former governor, very popular. His opponent might be Brian Schweitzer, the current governor, who's a very popular Democrat. But Schweitzer has not indicated he's going to run yet, and I'm hoping that he doesn't. And as events develop of the NSA scandal and so on, he thinks the better of it. And the other one would be North Carolina, a state that went for Obama in 2008, Romney in 2012, and has moved solidly conservative, replacing 3 Democratic congressmen in the last cycle. Kim Hagan is a Democratic liberal senator. I think she has a very good chance to be defeated. That's 6. And then there are 2 that are longer shots, but within range. There's Iowa, where Harkin has left the seat, the Democrat. And normally that would be a pretty good shot for Republicans. It's a swing state that Obama narrowly carried. But the problem is the good Republicans are not running, and the Democrats have a congressman running, so that's a tough one. And then Louisiana, where Mary Landrieu, one of the only Democratic senators from the Deep South, may have outlived her luck and may lose this election. She's got a very strong Republican congressman running against her. So if we don't mess it up, which is a big if, we've got a pretty good shot at taking control of the Senate. Of course, I'm no longer in the prediction business, so these are just thoughts. Thanks for watching.